welcome back. This is the second part of the Sockmatician podcast episode. I'm going to be, this was all about the stash stuff. I'm going to be talking later on in this next section about whether or not I'm going to decide to do it in two parts or not. You already know the answer. You know which way I went. Enjoy. But now, it's stash enhancement. Now, this is going to go on for a while. I was going to try and sort of race through it all, but actually, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to not race, and when I get to the editing stage, I'm going to make a judgment call on whether it's whether it's part one and part two, so you can watch them separately, or just make it really super long. Of course, problems with downloads and uploads and memory for editing, so I might break it up into 2 episodes. We'll see. So as you've seen already, here's the stash part again. That's the box it came back to the UK in. There's my bare plaster walls. There's some deodorant. My husband has left the country today, gone to Italy, and left his deodorant around because he was travelling with hand luggage only. So that's the pile. Plenty of it, right? And that, if anyone cares, is guava juice. My new guilty pleasure. Not guilty because it's bad for me. Oh no. Guilty pleasure because I drink rather a lot of it. Sorry, is that down a bit? That's better, isn't it? Hi. Feeling gorgeous. You, not me. But thanks. So, I don't know where to start. It's not going to be in any kind of order at all. I'm just going to literally go straight to the wrinkly. It came, well, so, there you go. I think I've spoken about this before. Cat bag from Napier. Thank you, lady who gave me cat bag. You didn't need to. But I've got a plan for this. I love it. You know that. There is somebody I know. It might be nice to share it. I hope you don't mind. Thank you. Cat bag. Right, so these are from Minneapolis, actually. These are from Land of 10,000 Yarns, hand-dyed in Minnesota. And Paul Bunyan is the chap who's knitting, the bearded, burly, lumberjacky chap who's knitting on the label. Land of 10,000 Yarns, there he is. He's quite hot, isn't he? Listen, I used to fancy John Smith and Pocahontas. And a lot of people I know fancy Aladdin, so shut up. So this is called Colorway Itasca, and base is the gully. It's 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. It's a 4-ply fingering weight, 100 grams, and 423 metres, 463 yards. So it's quite a light fingering weight, but it's really, really interesting. There's 2 colours here. That one's called Itasca, which is a forest nearby where it's from Minnesota. It's a dyed in Minnesota, and I was in Minnesota, obviously, at Minneapolis. This is raspberry wine, but look at the way the light affects. I'm actually going to try and bring this light further down so you can see what's going on here. In shot view. Can you see? You probably can't. Oh, this isn't going to go so well. So ridiculous. Honestly, you'd think I'd never recorded a podcast before in my life. What an idiot. I'm trying to do this one-handed. I could just put the yarn down, make life much easier on myself. There you go, light is out of shot. It's not dazzling me, but you can really see it on the yarn. So, I'll hide my face. Look at the dark aspect of this. Now there's a real black halo to this yarn. So I'm just going to not even try with names. I can't remember the names of the people who gave me stuff, but I will try and credit the companies wherever I can. Gracie. Grace Lintner. Thank you. You're very sensible. I asked her about it, how she get this rich, deep intensity to the colours. And she was saying, I said, is it over-dyed on a dark base? She said, oh, it's dyed and dyed and dyed. There's lots and lots of different processes that get this. But it's really lovely. The two work very, very nicely together. Kind of a bit Christmassy if I were to put them into a double-knitted project. might be a Christmas stocking. Certainly not for this year. So they're beautiful. Thank you very, very much. That was Grace, who took from one of my classes in Minnesota and Minneapolis, and just gave me this little gift. Thank you very much. Another gift. This is from New Zealand this time, and this is from. Oh, I've got a card. Thank goodness. To the lovely Nathan. That'd be me. Thank you for enriching and enlightening my mind. It's meant more to me than you'll ever know. Wow. Gosh. I read that before and I've forgotten what it said. Lots of love from Sam. So thank you, Sam. Sam gave me this. Now this was in Sydney, I happen to remember. I don't know the light quite where it was. In Sydney there was the dinner that I was hosting and keynote speaking at. And Sam gave me this. It's an enormous Hancock hand spun. I think she said she also dyed the flap. It's beautiful. I don't know what it actually is. I don't think. No, I don't know what the fibre is. I was told. But look at the I think it's fractal plied. I don't know much about spinning. Someone else will tell me, I'm sure. But look at how many different colours there are. There's these purples, this brighter green here, these olivey golden greens, the blues, there's browns in there, there's more mauve, there's more blue. It's really lovely, and of course you can see the individual plies, the individual strands applied very often with two colours wrapped bob-polling around each other. It's really beautiful. It's very, very soft. It's lovely. It's really, really lovely. I don't know what to do with it yet. I will find something to do with it. It's really, really nice. It feels very nice, and the colours. It's sort of muted, but really, really not cohesive. It works very well together. It's very, very beautiful. Thank you so much, Sam. Lovely. Oh, hello, here it is. This is in the bag. It's 100% Aussie ultrafine merino, fractal spun 2-ply twist. Made with love. Enjoy. Now, I'm confused because the card that was in that says from Sam. The bag that the yarn came in is clearly what it actually is, and it says enjoy. Emma Spinderella. Sam, thank you for whatever other gifts you gave me. I'm really sorry. Don't hate me. I've been travelling an awful lot. They've got two balls of the Sockmatician edition arranged in here. They've got a chapel and a Montagnier. This is what they look like outside the bag. Oh, so gorgeous. Oh, lovely. I don't need to talk about that. This was some more Sockmatician edition yarn here. Marie gave me some balls to play with of my. I'm not going to complete that sentence. It's probably best. Now, this was the only thing that I bought myself when I was on my Minneapolis trip last month. I don't need yarn, as I said. I do like to support people, and I do like to, when I see something I like, if I really like something, I'm going to want it. And I really like this. It's grey. Who cares? It's just grey. Such a beautiful grey. It looks like liquid mercury, right? So gorgeous. It's really, really soft. The base is lovely. This is from Little Fox, an exquisite hand-dyed yarn. Little Fox, that's, can't really see that. Very, there you go. Little Fox is the logo. And exquisite hand-dyed yarns. This is the Boza, and it's 65. I love it so much. It's so soft and squidgy. It's called the Lake House. Lake House is the colourway. The base. It's a DK weight. It's 231 yards, 100 grams. 65% superwash merino. Great. Lovely. It's going to be soft already. 20% silk. See that shine. So you get a liquid mercury aspect from it. And 15%, I thank you, yak. It's delicious. Oh, it can only be a hat. I just want to make it into a hat immediately. The reason I say that is because going to be worn on a very sensitive part of the head, and it's going to feel exquisite. Really, really lovely. I saw this on my first visit into the marketplace. I was again teaching 6 classes in 3 days, and appearing on a panel chat with Anna Maltz, actually. Oh, I didn't even say this. I could not believe my little Sockmatician luck. I was asked to talk on a panel about colour aesthetic, using colour design, because obviously double knitting is very much a colour technique. And I was on stage with Anna Maltz, who I know is legendary in the making. She's there already, but I was just, because she's so humble, you'd think she's probably just normal. She's not normal, she's a genius. But I was also me, Anna Maltz, Susan B. Anderson. Thank you very much. And I was the last person to arrive on the little podium stage there. I wasn't late, it's just they got there before me. I assumed we'd all walk on together. I walked into the room, I was like, they're on stage! Pegged it down, it was fine. But I was got on stage, and Fiona, who was the editor of Vogue, introduced me and said, this is Susan, and Susan B. Anderson said to me, oh, do you know what, I can't remember exactly what it was, but she said, I had just Instagrammed the day before some stupid video of me sprawling on the tables in one of my classes. We had fun. And she said, oh, it looks like you were having fun in your class yesterday on Instagram. I was like, and then she said, I was already stunned, she knew who it was. And then she said, I'm Susan. I said, oh my goodness, you really don't need to introduce yourself to me. I'm literally like, yeah. She's amazing and so lovely. So yeah, I was on the stand with her that day, rushed in, saw this, and kind of literally caught my eye as I was running past. I went, I'm coming back tomorrow. And I went back and bought it. My only purchase from Minneapolis. Now there's a lot of skeins which are all part of the same thing, so I'm going to parcel those up together and I'll talk about those en masse. Crinkle, sorry! Big bag of yarn. It's a vacuum pack bag. I bought these in New Zealand actually, so I bought these in New Zealand actually, so that I could send stuff home with my sister. Little did I realise that I would be sending stuff home from Sydney as well. Where's the zip? Where's the zip thing? The zip thing's gone on my Ziploc bag. It's just a lock bag. It's gone from the other one as well. I was going to say maybe I can steal one from the other. How do I get in? Maybe I just pull. Sorry. Okay, I'm just going to empty it out on the floor. I am. We'll get the noise and the mess over with in one go, okay? Two goes, there's not a bag. Okay, so I have got here, these are lovely. Hardy Hooley Designs. Hang on a second, I can find them all. There. Yes, so these are, where is it? I'm not doing this very well, am I? Here we go. Hardy Hooley Designs. There we are. These are just lovely. So the base is silky bar lamb, 50% silk and 50% merino. These were a fabulous gift. Hardy Hooley Designs are just gorgeous, lovely people, and I really enjoyed getting to know you. Fabulous batty knitty logo there. This feels so, the silk is taking something, is adding something to the texture of the merino, but it's also taking away the bounce. It's got that kind of, you know that, not dead, I don't mean that, that kind of squish feeling that alpaca can sometimes have. The silk and the merino blend together is doing that. Merino you squeeze it and bounce back. This feels kind of solid. It feels almost cottony, but so much softer and silkier. Look at these colours. This one's called, what's one called? Limeade. I was reading it upside down, I was like, Limiad? And this one's called Amethyst, clearly. But look at the sheen on it. I mean, it's all about the silk at the moment. Everything's shiny. Lovely. Thank you so much. Beautiful. And they, you know, I'm not sure that I want to put those together. They could easily. Limeade, I would say it's more yellow. It kind of looks a bit greeny yellow in this light. I don't know. It's yellow, bordering into green territory, I would say. Who knows? I'm probably colourblind. So there's all sorts of things I could do with this, but I actually think adding these two colours with something to tie them together would be nice, because something stronger. Together they're lovely accents, but I mean, this would be a lovely accent for a darker piece. This would be a lovely accent for a darker piece. Add a darker wool. I'm not saying, maybe a dark grey. It's a really dark grey. What about a Delavry? No. I don't have one to hand. Or maybe, you know, to put something with, I don't often knit with black, but it just, I don't know, it's just, So maybe this is for safekeeping for a special project with more yarn together. It's lovely. So, Ian, my good friend Ian, also in Napier. In fact, Harley Hulu Designs and Man-Made Fibre were vending just next to each other. Ian is man-made fibre. All of his fibre is natural fibre. He's a man and he's the dyer, so he punned man-made fibre because he's a man and he made it. He did then say to me, I regretted it. The moment I started vending at shows, people walked in and went, oh, man-made fibre, I don't want that. Walked straight past me, I want natural fibres only. Poor Ian. However, lovely, and he gave me, very kindly, his own personal version of his Pride Rainbow in minis. These aren't actually, they look like they could be, they're not actually the ones I'm holding up in the photograph in the book. Because this photograph was taken a long time before I met Ian. Where's it, so that you know what I am referencing? Don't be alarmed. It's a naked torso shot. There's actually more than one. Where is it? There. Oh, no. Oh, I'm an idiot. Oh, yeah, I was talking about it. It's right early on. Send it off. There you go. That's the photograph I'm talking about. The Fly Me a Rainbow Flag in knitting yarn. Yeah, lovely. So that's, it's not those colours. Those are kind of darker, not like my dark red. There's so many ways you can render a rainbow. These are, I'm going to say this with, knowing that the word sounds wrong, flatter colours. They are, it's not that they're completely solid, there's still a little heathering going on. I don't know what I mean by that. Do you know, words fail me today, which is probably because I've just used an awful lot of them. But these are really, really lovely. They are 20 grams each, 4 ply. Now, it's a lofty 4 ply, I'm going to use that because it's blowing out in the colour. It looks to me much more like a DK weight yarn, but clearly from the yardage it's not. I love that, so it's obviously been milled with a lot of loft to it. And it's going to be thick, therefore, and squidgy. And just as with any 6-colour rainbow, you can put any of the colours together in beautiful combinations, and they will all work really nicely together. You can just, there's no combination that's not going to work. It's just gorgeous. Ian, thank you very much. He knows how important rainbows are to me, so I really, really appreciate that. Then on, oh yes, these. This is lovely. Bleating Art. Bleeding heart, bleating sheep, art, bleeding art, heart. Very clever punning, well done, Alice. Auntie Alice likes to knit. This is the Aorta Sock blend. Now, this was again, Alice was vending in Napier, and these are, I just saw these two colours. I thought, I want to do something in brioche with those. Just gorgeous. This is called Chimney Sweep. Yeah, Chimney Sweep. This one. Look at all those grey tones. So, so lovely. Now, normally with my double knitting, I wouldn't use something that has this much variegation in it. to break up the pattern, but because double knitting is pixels and brioche is bold, strong lines, there's no overlap here. Even the lighter colours of the pink are still pink, and those lighter greys are still very much grey. You're not going to be able to see what this is. It's so pink. It's called Crush, Candy Crush. Or I have a crush on you, a heart pink. It's just beautiful. This base is so gorgeous. It is it calls itself a 4-ply. So we bought 80% merino, 20% nylon. It's a sock yarn. It's so bouncy. This to me looks and feels like a DK weight yarn. I'd be hard pushed to tell the difference. It's so lovely. This is facebook.com/bleating art yarn. Imagine some great big brioche fabulous neck adornment with the pink cutting through the grey, and the grey being the foundation stone for these wonderful pops of pink. Amazing. And will encourage me, that's the word, encourage me to come up with some more brioche patterns. I'm actually going mad. Here's that one. So here, what was this from? I don't know where I bought this from. I do know where I bought this from. I don't know where I bought this from. I think I bought it in Holland. NWT. I don't remember. I'm so sorry, but it's lovely. It's called Midnight Sun, summer 2018. It's a fingering weight, blue face Leicester and 20% silk. Did I buy this in Rhinebeck? Maybe I bought this at Rhinebeck. Knit, free, or dye. Come on, you know you want to. Okay. Hay River and... I don't remember. Too many, I'm afraid. Too much yarn. Don't give me more yarn. Please don't give me any more yarn. I don't need more yarn. It's overwhelming. Approaching sable, I think. Stash of fruit beyond life expectancy. At the speed I knit, recently I've had no time for knitting. Life's been too hectic. But this is gorgeous. It's brown rather than black, so it's not the greys like a campfire. It's just autumnal 70s colours. Really, really nice. Moving on. Oh, these are hilarious. So in one of the ladies in Wellington who took one of my classes, Paula, she said to me as she was leaving, she said, I run a yarn shop in Carpety, which always makes me think of linoleum-y. It's just a town, I don't know. K-A-P-T-I. K-A-P-I-T-I. Carpety. It's a Maori word. And she knew that Sam and I were going from there, driving up towards New Plymouth, which is where we stayed with Leanne. Hello, Leanne. She said, if you feel like it, I'm sure you won't be able to, but if you feel like it, just pop in and we'd love to see you. So I did. She was really surprised that we did it. But it's where I bought, now you've all seen the big cowl, the no pattern cowl, which happens to be behind the camera here. So just so you know what I'm talking about, this one here. So I bought this yarn from Paula in her shop, like that. And I saw these tiny little miniature balls of yarn, which I could not resist. And why couldn't I resist them? The green, the blue and the purple. Why couldn't I resist them? I mean, come on, they're in my own personal colourway. So I bought 2 of each because I thought it'd be kind of nice to make some socks. I bought this as well, got the whole set. This is plain bog standard black sock yarn. It's going to be horrible to work with, but I thought maybe some strand tarsia in my personal colourway on a black background for the sock. I could just pop them in anywhere I wanted to. And maybe some of them might be looking a bit like me. I know, right? The Sockmatician tattoo socks. They're just being designed in this mode. I haven't actually thought about that until now. I'm not promising. No, Delavery. And then, now, Bruton. Yeah, lovely, aren't they? What else is here? Oh, there's loads. So, how many of these are there? Because I've got... No, actually... Oh, hang on. I have got a whole set of the Sockmatician stuff. I might as well talk about yarn. I might as well show you. There you go, there's the whole range. I haven't got milk. Yes, I have. There we are. There's the whole range. Just like that. Now, as I was saying about with Ian's, you can, with the rainbow, you can have any combination of the colours, and they all work really, really nicely. Because they go with colour wheel, what's the word I'm looking for? Theory, colour theory. If I could find the purple that I've just thrown down, where did it go? What? I don't think I should be. I don't think I'd be. I don't think I should be allowed to podcast. I really don't. I thought I had all 8, didn't I? Where's Baker? Where's the purple one? Not named after Cheryl Baker. Gilda Baker. Where is it? There must be one here somewhere. Maybe not. Anyway. I'll edit that out. Oh, you heard it, didn't you? But you can... The purple and the yellow complement what I'm talking about on the colour wheel. You've got the opposite colours. You've got the red and the green, and you've got the blue and the orange. So the yellow would be paired with the purple. And they all work very nicely. However, you've got the ones that are adjacent as well. So orange and yellow, red, orange, yellow, green, adjacent. Beautiful. Green is next to blue, blue is next to purple. Purple would be going around the corner next to red, red next to orange. You've got all those. Then you've just got some the random ones as well. The red and green. I know, a bit Christmassy, but really, really nicely works together. You've got the green. Yeah, separated by one colour. Still gorgeous. Finding 2 colours to work together is the easiest thing in the world. Finding more than 3 can be too difficult. 4 is nearly impossible because they all have to blend with each other. Let's just pick out 4 colours at random. Let's have a different selection of 4 colours. Let's have a different selection again of 4 colours. Part of that is the skill of the dyers at Skeins. Part of that is nature's rainbow doing its thing. Part of that is also the fact that these are all over-dyed onto this slightly grey yarn. So there's a mutedness about the grey which sort of pulls all the other colours together. Any 3 work really nicely. There's a lot of floozy jumpers that have been made with this yarn. Is it cardigan? It's a cardigan. Floozy cardigan by Truly Myrtle Designs. And people are, for example, it's like a main colour, it's a yoked cardigan with, so it's got a big all over colour, and it's got colour number 2, which is the contrast, the dominant contrast colour, and then the little pops of highlight. And there's a lot that's been made entirely out of milk with maybe 2 accent colours. Or they've been made out of Delavery with 2 accent colours. It all works. I'm not here to talk about my yarn, honestly, I'm talking about everyone else's yarn. Oh, you're proud of it, you can't blame me. Sorry if you're bored. So I've got a lot of yarn here from Deb at Outlaw Yarns. Now, let me just count the balls, because I think some of these are my sister's, because she gave me 6 to give to my sister. I think there might be 12 here. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and there's a 12 one. So 12, there you go. So, now the problem is, these came together as sets, and I can't, now that I've got 12 balls, I don't know which 6 were together. So, maybe Deb, maybe I'll look on her website, or maybe someone else, I'll just show them all. Now Deb is from Christchurch, I think, but I met her at, where did I meet you? Was it at Cannes and then in Wellington? I can't remember. But she's Outlaw Yarn, and this yarn is all Bohemian Sport. It's 45% Polworth, 45% alpaca, and 10% possum, just like my yarn. Possum. And again, the possum has, there's some of the grey on mine comes from the brown and the greys of the possum yarn. I've got a whole armful here. I'll try and stand up without dropping it. I didn't manage it. So, so clearly, there's one each of these for me, and one for me and one for Sam. The yarns, absinthe. There's. Well, Sam loves her purples, but I don't think all three of these are in the same one. So this one is Vardo, is it? Yeah, Vardo, V-A-R-D-O. This one is Keepsake. It's lovely, lovely. It's damask, dusky purple. That was much more bluey purple. This one's much more pinky purple, and this one's called Prose. Really, really lovely. It's a very unusual yarn. This, it's beautiful to handle. It's got a little bit of fuzz. Can you see the? Can you see the halo on that? That's the possum. Possum is a very, very short staple length fibre, and interestingly, I know that Deb's yarn is milled and produced at the same place at Design Spun where my yarn is. So. I know quite a lot about the process because you'll have seen my tour of the mill. This is a sport weight, so it's 167 metres, 183 yards per 50 grams. It's got that denseness from the alpaca. The Polworth is going to give it a much more, like a kind of blue-faced Leicester, real integrity to its structure and bounce really well. Probably not too bad for stitch definition. It's not a very high twist yarn. It's got this sort of like loose, maybe I'll give you a different colour so you can see better in the light. There you go. You can see it's quite a loose 2-ply, or 2-fold as I learned. Really, really beautiful. Some great colours. Look at this lovely ocean turquoise in this sort of tealy colour here. This one's called Glass House and this one's called Tarnished. I don't know anything that tarnishes that colour. Actually, that's looking a little bit bluer than this. This is much more sort of sea greeny blue in life. And then there's this wonderful rusty red. It's not an orange. It's called Carnival. With a neon end, which is why I said it funny. It's got orange tones with rusted tones to it. It's really lovely. And this beautiful orange. It's so soft. It's really, really gorgeous. I'll work on splitting these up into 2 batches of 6. I suspect at least 2 of the purples have to go to Sam because it is her favourite colour. Well, actually, these are sort of the Sock siblings colours, aren't they? I don't know why I looked at you conspiratorially. I have no plans. I wouldn't know what to do to knit something that was Sock siblings-ish. Right, okay. So moving on. Oh, here's me. There's me. The white badge doesn't show it. Wow, I've got bagfuls of badges there. Okay, so here we go with the big batch of yarns that were given to me in Minneapolis by 3 Irish girls, Yarn Inc. Each skein is hand-dyed in colours. Great. This is, I think, all on their Adorn Luxe base. Let me just check that that's correct. Adorn Luxe, which is 85% merino and 50% nylon, so it's a good sock base, a standard workhorse sock variety. Adorn Luxe. This was a big gift. I didn't know what to do. I was quite embarrassed really. This Harley Hooly. There's Julie's yarn. So yeah, I was approached by. Oh, I'm rubbish with names again. I'm so sorry. That's really, really bad. Really shabby of me. Just so everyone know in the future that names not going to stick. I was approached in the marketplace and asked if I would like to do a collaboration with the dyers at 3 Irish Girls. Now I don't tend to say yes to things like that on spec. If I've got something in mind, then I'm happy to do it. Whatever fibre, whooshing got my nose. Then I'm happy to do that sort of thing, but I don't want to sort of lead people on. So I'll always say I probably won't. But if I use someone's stuff in a pattern, and I'm always crediting them in the pattern, so it's not that I'll say, oh, I think things are not doing it for you. Do you see where things get sticky? Anyway, she came up to me the next day and she said, I told you I wanted to give you some yarn. And she opened this bag and opened it out to me. I said, oh my God, they're all so lovely. I said, how on earth am I supposed to choose? And she went, oh no, they're all for you. I said, what? I think it was 8. Oh, no, hang on. Not quite this many, because I also was given, as luck would have it, a 3 Irish girls skein of yarn by one of my students in the class the day before. So I've now got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there were 8 in the bag, which is a ridiculously generous gift. And here they are. I mean, they're all fabulous. And interestingly, what's lovely about this sort of thing, often when you get given gifts which are not the sort of thing you think you would normally go for to buy, you go, there's a reason for that. I know that I wouldn't have chosen probably any of these colourways. I really like them. I have to say, I really, really do like these. This is genuine endorsement here because I like the product. So let me talk you through them. A lot of them, the colourway names, because Minneapolis is home of Prince, a lot of them are based on Prince song titles, and I'm not a huge fan, so I don't necessarily know the references. I apologise about that. This one here is called Baby I'm a Star. Really interesting. Now, speckled yarn, I've often said, not for me, except when the speckles are not just random plotters. They're something that either runs with the colours in the main colourway or accentuates or contrasts them in an exciting way. This, I believe, does that. I think the speckles are complementary to it. I think that's really... Again, I tend not to know what to do with heavily variegated or diverse colours within one skein. Because of my double knitting thing, I tend to go for solid colours for that. But it's beautiful, and you, with this kind of yarn, all of these actually, you just let the yarn do the work. Don't try and put a big old pattern on it, because it's going to break up any lace or cables or stitch texture, anything you want to do. You're going to just waste your time. People will just see the colour. So let the yarn do the work for you. This will be great vanilla sock or a fabulous hat, anything like mittens. Ooh, nice. Because it is a really nice loftily spun base. Again, then we've got this one here. I'll show you next. This one is called, some of them are, I happen to know Madonna lyrics as well as Prince. This is called Sexy Air. You sexy. Oh, it reminds me of a really, really awkward story. I used to teach singing classes at a dance school in Maidenhead, and young kids, and they'd come into my class, and because I'm not a pianist, I would use backing tracks from YouTube, easy, and they would choose what songs they wanted to sing. Now, I would, if I was structuring a class, I'd be wanting to sing something with a bit of emotion. This is for theatre, of course, so musical theatre. They all want to sing pop songs. It's a little 8-year-old girl, whose name I can't remember. She had quite a pronounced lisp, and she was a very earnest little girl. And she walked in, she's very serious, and she'd always stand very prim and proper. And she had a very sort of square cut fringe and her hair, long brown hair, straight to here, and everything about her was very, very straight-laced. And she'd look at you sort of down her nose, even though she was like half my height. She was quite a character. I did like her. And I said, what song are you going to be singing today? She could talk the titles, so I looked it up online. And then, in a solo singing class, thankfully there were cameras in the room to protect me, not to protect anyone else, so that if anyone were to accuse me of anything, was saying, no, it's fine. I'm so glad those cameras were there, because this little 8-year-old girl suddenly started singing a Jessie J song, which starts, I'm feeling sexy and free. Please tell me you're not. Please tell me you're not. I never felt more uncomfortable in my life. She had no idea what she was thinking about, but didn't help me any. So this is Sexy NF, and look at it, isn't it great? So I'm actually going to open this one up because I want to see the proportions in the skein of how much is the black and how much is the rest of it. Ooh, look at that. It's kind of evenly spaced out actually. So you've got black at both ends, fading orange, which is really bright, and through the orange into this lovely magenta red into cyan. There's kind of all the colours. I know, I know. It's called a CMYK, isn't it, really? I'm wondering if that was yellow dye that's bled into the magenta and into the black and come out as orange. I wonder. Do you think? Anyone know this kind of stuff about dyeing? Because it's a sorcery I don't understand at all. So I wonder if this was like CMYK inspired colourway. I've twisted it so tight around my finger, I can't have my finger out. So I'm a liability today, honestly. I don't know what's wrong with me. I do. I'm very tired. I'm emotionally overwrought. It's been pretty hard. My poor God. I'm fine. Honestly, I'm fine. And please don't. If you're thinking lovely thoughts and sending positive things, hoping that life will get easier soon, thank you. Don't worry about taking the time to write to me. I'm genuinely not fishing for sympathy. I'm fine. There you go. Oh, it twists up completely differently that time. And then we've got this one here, which is a similar sort of idea with the black and the pops of colour. So I'm not going to open up this one. This one's called Strike a Pose. I might be a gay man. I don't know all the Vogue moves. I'm sorry. Really bright. This one reminds me of some kind of like a minor bird or something, a tropical bird. Black feathers and pops of colour there. So you've got the greens, the purples, the blues. There's a whole gamut there. And as you know, this is going to be different. Look, half of that is black and half of it is the colour rainbow. Nice. Really, really nice. Again, at the moment, I don't instinctively see. Sometimes I look at colours and go, I know what I want to make with that. I don't with variegated skeins. So it'll come as a surprise to me what I want to make with it. Actually, there's a lot here. I may do some charitable work with some of this art, because it's not really fair that I should have all of it, really. Then we've got, tangle up all my labels. They're not coming apart. There's only 2 skeins in this twist. There we go. So then we've got this one, which is mostly pink, and it's called Ladies with an Attitude. Pink, right? Pink in capital letters and probably with an exclamation mark at the end. It's hugely pink. Again, it's going to pop out too much of brightness. Let me see there's actually not just one pink. It's got some sort of lighter touches here, but also some sort of bluey tones. You can't, can you? There's just no way of getting this to... I'm trying to touch on it. No, it's going to blow out. So there's... no way of showing you what this is, but it's got some dirty pink elements to it, because Ladies with an Attitude, I think they've got some dirty elements to them as well, don't you? So this one, similar to the first and second one, this one's called Fly Me to the Moon and Let Me Play with My Exposure. Look at that. It's navy. This one's much more blue than the others, which were definitely black. And it's just got this very unusual little fade from the blue into this very pale sky blue here, which goes through a purple there, and then from that sky blue into this green, which may just be the green going back into the dark. But I don't know how dyeing works. Really, really nice. Again, lovely. Thank you for that. Then, okay, so these ones are probably... They're all great, don't get me wrong. These are probably the ones I like a little bit more. And I don't like speckled yarn so much, but that I think is really, really nice. This is called... I'll show it to you on camera because it's a visual pun. It's a sound pun, but if I say it, it won't. You've got to see it and hear it. So read this out loud. Colourway. I would die for you. It's really nice, isn't it? So it's this mostly natural colour, too much light. Mostly the natural colour, too not enough light. How's that? That's better, isn't it? With mostly speckles of the purples and blues, and grey in there. There's some limey yellows. You don't notice. It's actually a riot of colour, which I don't tend to go for, but they're harmonious. They work really well together. You don't see that there's all that going on. It looks mostly sort of blue and purple. It's a really nicely balanced colourway there. These two, I think, might be quite nice together in some sort of, again, maybe brioche rather than double knitting. One of them is called When Doves Cry. It's mostly grey, doves, right? And the other one is called, of course, Purple Rain. Aren't they lovely? I can't see it. Too dark. I can't get this lighting sorted out at all. I do apologise. Look at that. Purple Rain. Beautiful. So many different types of purple, from this real proper indigo purple. What's it? Yeah, it's just gorgeous. And then this navy blue, speckles in the grey bit here, back into purples and back into blacks. It's gorgeous. That's really, really very, very special. And pair that with When Doves Cry. It's kind of like the grey version of that. So you dye it grey, and then you put your speckles and splodges on the top. Similar sort of colours of the splodges. Very, very interesting. Again, really nice and balanced. Lots of black going in there, so probably a little bit darker on the speckles than the other one. Nice. And then, this is an example. I would never have chosen this. I think it's my favourite. So just sometimes, it's good to be pushed out of that comfort zone. I started saying to people in Minneapolis particularly, people often have a colour palette. This lighting is driving me mad. I'm going to take it a bit further away. People have a colour palette that they... People can often have a colour palette that they stick to, which is their comfort zone, and they feel safe within it. Now, it got me thinking, and I thought, well, actually, do you know what? It's not really your comfort zone. It's only comfort because it's familiar. But your prison cell is also familiar. And I thought, well, actually, your comfort zone. I'm never going to get through the story. I started obsessing about the lights. I'm so sorry. Let's try another option. Oh, that's not too bad. Right. Your comfort zone is actually your prison. It's kind of akin to a sort of Stockholm syndrome, I was thinking, you know, where you start to, because someone's giving you, they may be taking away your liberty and your freedom, but they're giving you food, or they stop hurting you sometimes. And those moments of pain-free existence make you love that person, your captor. Now, that's messed up, but I totally understand how it can work. So that's your comfort zone. Your comfort zone is giving you what you think of pain-free existence, but actually what it's giving you is limitations. And we are all only limited by the limitations we place upon ourselves. If we could learn that, the world would be a better place. So I would never have chosen this. I really like it. Wow, right? There's a lot going on in this skein, and it's called You've Got the Look, Got the Look. Oh yeah, that song goes. I've got that wrong, I apologise. It's really lovely. So lots of different colour and lots of different speckles. You can see what it is. I don't need to describe it. Gorgeous. Thank you so, so much. There's more. I'm just going to plough straight on because some of you might not get to the end of this. I'm all right with that. Some of you might criticise me in the future. Oh, your podcasts are long, aren't they? I don't care. Some of you, I know, will be really, really interested to see right to the bottom of this bag. It's another wrinkly bag. Hang on. That was supposed to be much more impressive. I was going to like fling the balls everywhere. Just dropped out the bottom and only saw the bag. I'm doing very well today, am I? So, now, there's more in here. There are people here that I do need to credit, and gosh, I can't. Oh yeah, I know that. So, I got to go to an alpaca farm in Auckland. Helene from Happy Go Knitty. Have I got any Happy Go Knitty in here? I don't think I have actually. Lynn. Talk about Lynn in a minute. Helene, who is the person who made the whole trip happen, she's the person who put me in touch with Marie Busker in the first place, so I could go to teach at Cannes. That's how the rest of the trip evolved from there. Helene was, you're such a dear friend. I adore you, genuinely adore you. And she, like, knowing that I love alpaca in a rather kind of weird and unhealthy way, that sounds so. The yarn. She took me to an alpaca farm and we got to meet alpacas. They were so gorgeous.
As well.
The joys of having them locked up is all too.
Yes.
My morning dawn. No, they don't want to be touched.
I love them so much. And this is what I bought from there. This is Gumtree Gully alpacas, 100% made in NZ, New Zealand grown and processed, 100% alpaca. And this, look at it. It's like a big, thick 8-ply. So it says it's a DK weight. Looks like an arrow to me. This was $13. So £8. Less, 50, £7 maybe. It's just, it's got that unctuousness, that sort of real silky drape factor that alpaca has. Beautiful natural brown. Gorgeous. Love it. Then these came from Niche Yarns, which is that a niche? No, that's not. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that no? 5. I think. Oh no, there's the other. So this is another version of a rainbow. Now this is Tash Barnveld, who I didn't get to meet in Edinburgh, although we tried earlier this year. She runs a shop there, and she was also hosting my classes while I was in Edinburgh. Thank you so much for picking up the slack there, Tash. I really, really appreciate that. Oh, I've got two. Have I got 2 of all of these? No, I haven't. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's in here. I seem to have 2 of one colour. Anyway, here, look, there's minis. They're sort of minis. They're 50-gram skeins, I think. Yeah, 50 grams. I swear I'm only supposed to have one of these. She gave me these in a bag. Maybe she put 2 in. Maybe it was for like a, here's your neutral, here's your colour pops. Anyway, here, it's not a rainbow. Kind of is a rainbow. It's not a complete rainbow. Even if you have the grey, it's not a complete rainbow, but it's really, really nice. Lovely, lovely colour. This lime green is so so cheery, and pairing that with that orange there, gorgeous. There's quite tonal elements to some of these sort of semi-solid colours. Really, really nice. Again, bold, strong, flat colours. I don't mean blur. I just mean uncomplicated colours. Really, really lovely. Thank you so much for those. They all do need to find a project where they can go together. Really nice. This yarn pile down here is outrageous. Then, oh, this is what I've been looking for. This is some Romney fleece that I picked up at a sheep shearing demonstration while I was in Queenstown. James Herbison, Kiwi James the Kilted Knitter on Instagram. He was hosting Sam and me while we were in Queenstown, Dunedin and Arrowtown, and he took us out to dinner not knowing that the evening entertainment was a dog running not an exhibition, not an expo, not an experiment, where you show off, where you let the dogs do their sheepy thing. And sheep shearing, and they said, "You take some if you like." So I grabbed a bag. Well, I grabbed a handful and put it in this bag, and I had to send this home with my sister because she was leaving New Zealand before I went on to Australia. She was flying home. I would never have got this into Australia because of their biosecurity procedures at the border. This would have been taken off me, and probably a lot of other stuff would have been taken from me as well. It's lovely. Obviously, I saw it being taken from the animal. It could not smell more sheepy, but I am not going to keep it. My friend Dan Lee, who is not only a brilliant stranded knitter, some of you may have seen on Instagram yesterday, it was, excuse me, some of you may have seen on Instagram that I posted, I shared a picture of his cowl that he's done, blue and yellow with Celtic knot designs and skulls, really nice. It's called Not Dead Yet, K-N-O-T, Dead Yet, Song Ravelry. It's his first published pattern. It's lovely. He's also a very, very talented spinner, drop spindle. He spins so finely, even when he plies it, kind of like this way. It's amazing, absolutely amazing, and so evenly. And he's been doing it for less than a year. Honestly, the man is not human. But I thought, I want to give him something that he hopefully will enjoy the pros are either spinning in the grease and then washing it later, but he didn't have any carding combs, and I've given him mine. They've been in the cupboard. I did it once. I got some dreadful fibre off a field, carded it, washed it, spun it, knitted it into a hat. I've done it again. I don't need to do it again. I mean, I'm not one of nature's natural spinners, I don't think. But Dan very definitely is. I think there might be a bit of blue attached to that bit there. But you can see how look at the little the crimping of the locks there. It's gorgeous. So hopefully he'll get a kick out of doing that, and she'll know that I can't, well, my sister carried this halfway round the world. Just for him. So I've got, oh, this is vintage ones, isn't it? Vintage Burls. This is in Dunedin. One of James's friends. Oh, it's just so lovely. Morag. I can't remember your surname, Morag. I'm so sorry. This is 70% Polwarth, 20% Tussa silk, and 10% black New Zealand merino. So you can see, because of the black nature of the merino, it's kind of like the black alpaca in my yarn. It ties everything together. It's sort of overdying on grey really works for me. It's something aesthetic that I really like about it. This is from Dunedin, New Zealand. Morag works and dyes in Dunedin, and she's... Oh, Morag, you're great. I think I spoke about Morag on the last one. Maybe I've shown this already. I can't remember. But really, really love it. I think I have. It's vintagepearls.co.nz, sorry. This is called Sirius. This one is called Broadacre, the darker green, and the purple is called Hertford. They work so nicely together, don't they? I don't think Morag intended them to go together. This is at Harney Hooley's again. This is Julie's from Harney Hooley. Julie from Harney Hooley. This is the Silky Bar Lamb. Oh, again, it's the same base. I did not know that. Aha! Yeah, they all go together. Very nice. This was a little freebie mini in the goodie bags that the attendees at Knit August Nights were given, and this was colourway is called Can 18 KAN. A little mini. What is how much is in it? 50% silk, 50% merino. Outrageous. It's a lace weight. Okay, so that's the lace weight. This is the 4-ply version. But you can hold that double, make a little pop. I don't think that's the colour to bring the three together, even though it's the same base. I don't know what to do with that. It's so lovely. Look at the sheen on it. Look at how it just bounces light all over the place. Gorgeous. I don't know what to do with it. It's not jobbing. And I wouldn't necessarily want to lose the silkiness by pairing that with a less luxurious fibre. Do you know what I mean? Things I have to do with myself in my brain. I can't just let it be. Wouldn't it be nice if I could just say, ah, that's really nice, I'll go nice with that, and not care about the fibre and just let it be? No, not well. Then when I did my guided tour of the mill where the Sockmatician edition yarn came from, I don't know what made me buy this. In the Skeins shop, outrageous colours. It's really thick, but I got 2 of everything in the neon range. That is preposterous. I only need to hold 1 of each. I've got 2 of each of these. Neon orange, neon pink, neon green, neon yellow, fluorescent in colour. These are 100% New Zealand wool. It's kind of soft. It's not. I mean, Ben wouldn't be able to go anywhere near it. It's a chunky weight. It's 14 ply. If that means anything to you. 50 grams gives you. What does 50 grams yield? What's the length? 57 meters. It really is a chunky yarn. Huge. I just think, with the amount of it that I've got, I want to do something like properly outrageous, not literally use all these together and only use these colours in some great big poncho, shawly type ridiculousness thing. I think it'd be really, really fun, and I just, who needs a neon pop when you can just have neon? dirt cheap. So I think that's the only reason I bought it. No, I mean, the only reason I bought so much. Ridiculous. Oh, that shouldn't be in there. Oh, I know why that's in there. That one and, yeah, these are the second skeins I bought for those projects of that colour. And I happened to have them with me because I was knitting them with me, but I knew I wasn't going to get around to finishing them, so I sent them home in the consignment. That's Knit by Numbers by John Arbon. I'm sure everyone's very familiar with those. If I haven't shown them before, I should say the Knit by Numbers range has millions of shades. This is number 49. It's a DK weight yarn. It's 100% merino, but it's milled so loftily that it blooms quite a lot. A lot of it will pill. It's so soft to work. It's really, really nice to work in your hands. And it's merino wool. It's from the Falklands. Organically farmed, they say, and it is 100 grams in accordance with length per skein, 100 grams, 250 meters. So it's quite generous on the DK weight, and just shows you how lofty it is because it's quite thick and bouncy. It's a great squish, but it's long, so it's obviously not much. There's a lot of air put into it as well to give it that length. Oh, this is so unstructured. This is. If you're all tuning out in droves, it's been lovely having you follow my podcast. I don't blame you if you'd ever want to come back. There's the Gumtree Gully alpaca, and there's the other one I bought. So those would be really gorgeous together in some kind of hat, I think. Really nice. Creamy. Love it. Love it. Then this is fibre to go. Right. Now this is Lynn. Now, Lynn, I took one of my classes, was it the David Taylor or was it one of the separate classes? Not sure which. And we had a lovely time, got great knitter, fabulous brain, really enjoyed getting to know her. I think I've shown these as well on the Auckland bit that I did with Sam from Isabel's House. Hi, Isabel. But these two colours, absolutely gorgeous. I tried really, really hard to buy these. She was just packing up everything, and I said, oh gosh, they were just hanging next to each other. I said, you wouldn't necessarily put those two colours together, would you? But they look really nice hanging together. This gorgeous sort of burnty gold, and this very deep navy teal. Really, really lovely. And she said, oh yes, she said, people think that this, just gets hung up willy-nilly. She said, there's craft gone into it. I said, well, they're gorgeous, I'm going to need both. And she just put them into my hand. I said, no, let me pay for them. I said, no. And I said, then let me at least pay for one of them. No, she wouldn't hear of it, so thank you, Lynn, I really appreciate that. It's Italian-made fine merino, it's 4-ply, and it's 103 grams approximately, 360 metres. So this is thicker and denser. So what was I saying with the other one? So the Knit by Numbers, this is where, in my book, trying to categorise yarn weights, it's a minefield. Where is Knit by Numbers? So this is a 4-ply. It's not, it's a DK, I'm an idiot. This is a 4-ply, and this, approximately 380 metres, and this is slightly heavier, and 360 metres. No, that's not illustrating the point very well, although they're nice together, aren't they? Ooh. What's this one? 350 metres. This one is, that's going to be 334 metres. So you get quite discrepancy in terms of, and still classic, all of these are fingering weight yarn. It's kind of weird when you think about it in those terms because it kind of looks like the same thickness, or it doesn't. Or one might look the same as another but be much, much shorter, and you think you're being shortchanged. You're getting the same weight, you're getting the same quantity of fibre, you're just, the way it's been milled or spun or carded and combed, whether it's woolen spun or worsted spun, can affect how much length you get for the same weight. It's like saying, which is heavier, a pound of feathers or a pound of lead? They're both weigh a pound, right? But one is a heavier substance than the other. Does that make sense? Even though the yarn weighs the same, the way it's milled, a metre of a loftily spun yarn will weigh less than a metre of a densely spun yarn. I think that's what I'm trying to make. Then, I'm nearly there, we are nearly there. Then I've got Rebecca Pycroft. Kiwiana. These pink, oh, purple really, and orange. Really lovely. Again, crazy colours. Burnt orange, high twist merino, 100 grams. High twist would be great for some dog knitting. Wow, a bit zingy scarf, wouldn't it? And this is Drinks by the Pool, 100 grams, 357 metres. Really, you can see the twist on that. You can see how densely that's applied. Even this one is less so. You see the ridges are slightly more pronounced on that one. And then you compare that with, where's the outlaw yarn I was showing from Deb? It's all here. I know it's a slightly thicker yarn, but look at the difference in the construction. All of these things have a bearing on stitch definition. They also have a bearing on how, if you're doing colour work, how the pattern edges will be delineated. And this, I suspect, would stay very crisp and sharp. You can see there's no bloom on it at all. There's very little halo at all. And that's great for doing double knitting or fair arc, something like that. Maybe not so much for fair arc because you want more grip, but certainly with double knitting, it just gives you nice clean lines. I always say to people when I'm taking my classes, bring contrasting colours with a high twist and a fibre that's not going to fuzz or pill. And someone comes in with a kid silk haze in 2 colours that you can't tell apart. You were warned. Then finally, oh no, there were 3. That's the Kiwiana, that's the 3 together. How nice, aren't they? They sort of want to be something, but 3 colour double knitting, not my bag. And finally, it just happens to be the last in the bag. I don't know why, it's finally. This is Orange Tail Yarns. Now, Virginia, who also works at the mill for the Sockmatician edition yarn at Skeins, she's also a dyer. Orange Tail Yarns. I think I've told you about these already before, but I'll just quickly steam through because I know you can spool back. Look at these, aren't they just fabulous? They are so different, and yet they're not even the same base, I don't think. Are they? 4 ply. No, this one's a single and this one's plied. I wouldn't normally do that, but these colours had to come home with me and they have to be worked together. 366 metres for the single, which is the gold one, and it's called Golden Slumbers. Lazy summer afternoons, snoozing in the sunlight, gorgeous. It's quite variegated, and yet all within that golden sphere, really nice. And then this one is called Dr. My Eyes. I'm sure that's a cultural reference I don't get. Don't write it. I don't need to know. But this one's lovely. It's rich, dark browns and greens and blacks and sort of reds and together. They just said to me, "Please, can we be in the same project? Please, can we please, huh? Oh, I mean, this has been epic. I don't know when I'm going to get a chance to edit all this out. It's not going to be tonight because it's already getting quite late. And I've got things I need to do. This is a ridiculous stash pile. I shall show you now. I think you can see it now out of the bag. Well, thank you to everybody. I bought about 5 of those skeins. Thank you so much to everybody for being quite so generous. Whether your intention was to be generous and kind, or whether it was to further your business, and you know what, who can blame you? I would also be saying to people now, can you please share the information about Sock and Siblings? Please tell people that I'm selling stuff on my website. Please, we might lose our house. No, I wouldn't lost the house. Yeah, I do totally understand that people need to push themselves forward and self-promote. It's hard, it's really hard. It's so much nicer to have somebody else saying nice things about stuff you do than it is to have to say those things yourself. It's horrible having to do it. I've had to get used to it. I've had to say, buy these, they're lovely. I think they're lovely. I still hate telling other people I think they're lovely because it sounds a bit, well, self-centered. How much more self-centered do you want to be? It's got my name on it. Thank you so much for sticking with me, if you made it this far. If you didn't, You're not listening anyway. Thank you so much for sticking with me. It's been far too long. I really want to get into a better regime and routine of podcasting in 2019. There's been about 8 this year. It's really bad, isn't it? What can I tell you? There's been a lot of stuff going on. It's the end of a year. The end of a year sometimes leads people to becoming quite reflective. It feels like this has been the end of an era here. We've been here for 13 years. It's not. We've still got another 6 months, but it's all happening now. So, yeah, it feels like doors. I don't have a car. Other things going on as well. The EORI number didn't come in time. Lots of money wasted on storage. Doors closing, clang all the time. But I genuinely don't look at it that way. Well, Ben and I were really, really stressed about when we thought we only had a few weeks to find somewhere else to live. I said to Ben, you know what? Even though I hate what's happening to us, I hate the idea of losing our home. We've been so happy here for so long. Maybe it's the kick up the backside to give us the fresh start we need. 13 years of comfort zone becomes 13 years of your Stockholm Syndrome prison. And maybe that 13 years of security bred 13 years of rut forming. Maybe we're in a rut domestically. And we've accumulated so much stuff. No, the 13 years, the attic is full of all sorts of things. There's no way we can take it all with us. We have to do some serious life laundry to get rid. I would like to put everything I own into one room, count how many things there are, and say, I'm taking half that number with me. I have to throw away or give away half of my things. I have slight hoarder tendencies, I know this. I attach personality to an inanimate object or feelings to inanimate objects, and I don't want to. I couldn't possibly give this away. What if it got upset? It's wool. I know that this could be a problem for me, so I'm going to be really, really strong, and I think that's going to be really good for me. Challenge yourself, face up to your fears. Pushing through fear is less frightening than living with it. Ask a man who's had a life-changing diagnosis, and I will tell you that that is absolutely the case. Ask anybody else who's gone through something huge and epic that they've always feared, and go, do you know what? I'm still here. We will still be here. And when I say here, I mean filming on this phone. We won't be in this geographic location. You've got maybe 12 more podcasts in this building. Probably still looking at bare plaster. Thanks. But genuinely, I think it's, the old adage, which I know it's going to sound really trite, when one door closes, another door opens. Well, actually, that's not always true. Sometimes all your doors shut at once. But through that challenge, you make your own opportunities, right? You can decide that you are not going to sink from this. 2 types of people in the world: those who get broken down by life's adversity, and those people who say, "Boop you, I am not going to be beaten." You might think you don't have a choice over which one of those you are, but you do, actually. Sometimes you've been making the same choice, path, each time for so long, it feels so ingrained, you feel you don't have control over that anymore. You do. You can always decide to choose the other path. So rather than being broken down by the things which have been difficult recently, I choose to look at the things that 2018 has given me, which are opportunities beyond my wildest dreams. Beyond my wildest dreams. In fact, I'll read out the dedication I made to my editor Louise, because in the list of thanks. And most a special thanks to my commissioning editor Louise McIntyre, who had the vision for this book in the first place, who took a risk on this loose cannon, who fought my corner, who talked me down, who dealt with, capital letters, the tantrum, and who has given me the greatest gift of all, opportunity. Only you can decide whether you take it or not. And now, this rather epic possibly two-part podcast episode, really, at long last, is most welcomely a finished object. Remember, you and life are works in progress. Just take life one stitch at a time. Bye-bye.